Welcome to the unit on Basics of Design in Visual Display. This unit deals with understanding the elements and principles of design in visual merchandising and their application to create effective store design. This unit comprises of 2 modules and a final review section that invites you to reflect on what you have learnt. By the end of this unit, students will be able to outline the elements and principles of design in visual display, create a composition using elements and principles of design. The first module explores the elements and principles of design, that is, point, line, shape, form, color, texture, rhythm, balance, proportion, variety, unity, movement, emphasis, and repetition. Let us begin by understanding the role of point in design. A series of points make a line. So, this is a point. A series of points make a line. A point is the first element. It has no dimensions. Line is the second element. It has one dimension. There are different types of lines: vertical lines, horizontal lines, diagonal lines, and each has a different meaning. Vertical line means strength, height, pride, majesty, and dignity. For example, as you can see in the image, mannequin standing erect adds stature and class to the garment. This is good for fur coats, evening gowns, bridal wear, and tailored suits. Horizontal line means easy going, restful, peaceful, and calm. For example, reclining mannequin, relaxed, compatible with robe, loungewear, or nightwear. It makes an object look wider or sometimes shorter. So, when you are doing a garment, if you put horizontal lines, it makes you look stouter. It helps provide grace, charm, and femininity. Coming to the next type of lines, the diagonal lines talk of action, forceful, strong, and dynamic. For example, active sportswear mannequin often has all angles. The angles could be in the arms, akimbo, knees could be bent, head could be thrust back, and shoulders could be shrugging. A series of lines makes a shape. So, the first was a series of points make a line. Now, a series of lines make a shape. The smallest could be a triangle, it could be a hexagon or an octagon, and so forth. There are different types of shape such as mechanical shape and organic shape. Mechanical shapes are geometric in nature. These shapes are called as mechanical shapes. Organic shapes are free-flowing. If a shape is like this, which is a free-flowing shape, it's called as an organic shape. The sheer form of the building in standalone stores could become an element of curiosity for the customer and thereby invite footfalls. As you can see in these two images, the sheer form is interesting and invites a customer into the store. These are photographs taken on a street in Tokyo. The next element of design is color. Color can become a point of attraction. As you can see in the image and can be explained here, that when you are trying to do color and color blocking, always the light color to the dark color and the light color to the dark color, the movement is this, if this is the eye level. The next of the element is texture. The texture of the wall defines the window as shown in the image. The texture plays an important role in design. It gives the look and feel of the product or the design space. Even when we go to the shops, we look at texture to purchase a merchandise. The next is principles of design, the first being rhythm. This picture here shows the use of rhythm in this store. Rhythm can also be shown by footsteps leading into the store, as you would have seen in certain stores, a series of footsteps. So if we have footsteps done as a series, they lead into the store. The first of the principles of design is rhythm. This picture shows the use of rhythm in this store. Rhythm can also be shown by footsteps leading into the store. If this is the store and this is the entrance to the store, suppose we draw a series of steps. They give us a direction that you are moving into the store. There could be more steps which lead onto the store. And in a decreasing manner. The next principle of design is balance. Balance can be explained, as we know, a fulcrum in the center, and we have an equal amount of weight on either sides. It could also be balanced if you have a larger volume to a smaller volume with difference in weights or difference in weights with respect to color. In this visual, you can see balance. Visual merchandising which has been done at modern and rustic Asian furniture store. Balance is achieved here by placing lit balls at different heights at regular intervals. They are also of different shapes yet balanced. Cut. The next of the principles of design is proportion. This picture of the Harrods store captures the use of proportion in displays. So what happens in proportion? You have, say, a cube and you have another huge cube. They are changing in terms of proportion, but they are interestingly placed and emphasizing in the store. The next principle is variety. This picture shows a variety of textures, yet they are balanced. It is important for us to understand that you cannot differentiate one principle and say in this particular store there is only one principle. There can be more than one principle which would be applied to a store. Hence, a good design would have a combination of elements and principles of design. Coming to the next principle, which is unity. In this picture, it shows a variety of products united by color. So, if you walk into a store, you could have a pot, you could have a chair, you could have a table, or you could have a mannequin, all in a color of blue or red, and there is a kind of joining or unity between the products or the merchandise by sheer color. Coming to the next principle, movement. This picture depicts the use of movement in the footwear display. Emphasis. This is what I was talking before, that by sheer changing of the proportion, or as you see in the Louis Vuitton store, the emphasis in this display is brought out in this picture by all the arrows focusing towards the center. The next principle is repetition. The repetitive display is in a Monakim project for the Japanese clothing brand Uniqlo for the company's New York, Paris and London flagship stores, as you can see in this image. This module looks at the composition of centered, striated bridge, cross or T-grid, all over pattern and rule of thirds. So, let us explain each one of them one by one. Centered, as we were discussing the Louis Vuitton store's window, this picture shows how a display can be at the center. All the arrows are focusing at the center and there is only one merchandise on which the focus has been created. So, the centered focus shows the merchandise. Next, coming to striated, as you can see in the image, this is a striated display. That means you have stripes on the display and that creates the emphasis on the window. Bridge, in this display which has been done in the dyer shop, the bridge has been used as a display. It can be a cross or a T which can be used in the display as shown in this image. Next is grid. This metal tiles display is by Karim Rashid for alloy. It's a very interesting image and all over pattern. This display is of an all over pattern wherein you have everywhere a display. The next and the last part of it is rule of thirds. It's one of the important factors when you are doing a window display. This picture is explaining of rule of thirds. So, what is rule of thirds? Suppose this is my frame. I divide it into 9 squares and then I take my focal points around these areas. So, that is how a picture is composed. In the same manner, a visual display is also composed and your images should lie within these rule of thirds, within these 9 squares. You've come to the end of this unit. To summarize, visual merchandising is silent selling. Independent or combination of elements and principles of design are used to create a balanced, attractive store which would live up to its purpose to increase sales by attracting footfalls and then impacting them to convert footfalls into sales. Thank you.